chances they had. We'd one or two half chances at the same time, probably what they had. And then I think, for me, the goal was certainly avoidable. We just kind of got out of position a little bit, and the boy Sackos did well. And even then, I think it's hit Tommy Hoban's heel on the way through to Wood, who's tapped in. But the reaction to the goal was marvellous, as we've seen. They picked themselves up, they really get at it, scored a wonderful goal, and then two fantastic chances to get in front and win the game. And from that, whatever it is, 90 seconds later, we concede off a set play. I mean, I'm convinced the free kick should have been for us to begin with. I think the boy Wood was throwing Dara Lennon all over the place. But having said that, that can happen. We still have to defend the set play better. And young Sam Gallagher, I thought, did very well tonight. He's obviously just been caught on the run, and the kid will learn from that and get better as we go. So there's certainly, it's not particularly nice to be sitting here with no points, because I think we put enough in, particularly in the second phase of that game, to suggest even to win the game, but certainly leaving with something. So of course it's disappointing, frustrating, all the cliche words that we use, but it is. So we have to pick ourselves up and be ready for a quick turnaround to win at home on Saturday. It's as simple as that.
Does that phase of play just show the way it's going right now, that you have two great chances to win the football match, and at the other end you concede a soft goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody was here would have seen that tonight. And but when all said and done, our game is about winning games, it's about winning points, and we've not got enough of them at the moment that we'd like to have. So nobody's hiding behind that. It's very. But what I would suggest is we're certainly a far better team now than we were at the outset of the season in terms of how we're being competitive in these games, and really, with a bounce of the ball, whatever you want to call it, we certainly should be sitting with a few wins under the belt. As it is, we have to make sure we're ready to do that on Saturday. So, I mean, it's frustrating, it's annoying, everything you want to say. When all said and done, I've got the ultimate responsibility to go and win games and win points. And we've not done that well enough to this point, so that's something we need to address quickly.
I know it's frustrating for you, for the fans, for everybody else. Your first shot on target tonight was the goal, wasn't it? Is that something you have to work on, to have more attempts on goal? Well,
I think, as I said earlier, it was that type of game, wasn't it? I mean, I don't recall that Leeds United had too many chances at that point. Obviously, you're away from home and you're coming to try and give yourself a platform to win a game. But as we said, the reaction to the goal, and that's the way we have to play before a goal scored against you. I certainly agree to that point, that we should be playing. I mean, it's a quick turnaround, we know that coming from the game at London, but equally, if you can produce that after the goal, then produce it before the goal. You shouldn't need that that knee-jerk goal, we've lost a goal, let's go. Go and win the game from 0-0, because I think we do have goal scorers in the team. And again, the more they play with each other, the Emnes coming in with the Gallaghers, and some of the young ones there, the Hobans and the Williams, these boys have did very, very well. We have to make sure, as I said before, that we get that collective, and when we do that, it will result in the winning games, which people say, as they always do, they talk cheap. I certainly understand that. So we now have to start, as I say, delivering on that, go and get win after win, which we're capable of doing.
You did tell us when you signed him that Emnes would offer you something completely different, and in terms of the impact he had tonight, spot on.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it on Saturday, and you'd only got to know the boys, so it was a little cameo at Queen's Park Rangers, and with no fear. I mean, we were touch and go whether we started him tonight, and he's certainly shown that he's ready to start the games now, fully fit and up and running. Scored a wonderful goal. Again, even when he ready for the second one, when he's cut inside the lad and Greens, as I say. So he is different to what we've got. He's got a little bit of trickery about him. He can do the individual stuff. He can play up there on his own and beat a couple of men and score a goal. So it gives us certainly another potent threat in the forward area.
You're not having much luck at centre-half, are you, at the moment?
No, I mean, I think we're not having much luck in regards to injuries. Obviously, even Charlie Mulgrew going down at the weekend, and even then Corey was getting tightly on. He had to stay on because obviously the subs had been used and everything else. And then Tommy Hoban gets a bang in the hip, and then young Dara stepped in and he did fine. So he's played there before. So you're right, we're not being blessed by luck in that respect, but we've got to start, I think, making our own luck and creating it and going and earning the points that we crave, which are wins. And that's what we have to do. We have to play the front foot and go and win these games. And again, I remain convinced we're more than capable of doing that.
If you have lost Hoban for any period of time, Owen, might it speed up a process to get Wes Brown registered and available?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I spoke to Wes, as I have done in the last number of weeks. It was important that we got him up to speed in terms of fit and up and running, and he's now come through that process. I had a chat with him this morning before we left. So again, that's something we'd certainly look to do. But again, obviously Wes has to have a part in that in terms of what's involved in it. So again, we'll continue that dialogue and see where we get to.
It was a bang on the hip, so hopefully it's not a muscular thing that might be a number of weeks. Is it something that hopefully will settle down very quickly.
Well, that's we're always hopeful, because he's shown, I think, to be a very good player, Tommy Holman, and he will be. He's young, he's going to get better, as a number of them are, and I think he's did very well since coming in. So again, fingers crossed, everything will be available for Saturday, but we'll just have to wait and see how the next couple of days develop in that.
Just finally from me, Owen, a message for the supporters who are going through it as much as everybody else at the moment, to see their side lose tonight. What message have you got for them?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're right. I mean, I think, I hope certainly the ones over here would have seen, that when we won one behind, we certainly picked ourselves up and probably did enough to actually get in front and even win the game. So I think they've seen that from there. And of course, there'll always be, as you do, particularly as a manager and everything else, criticism that comes with that. I knew that from day one from coming in. So nobody's hiding behind that. The bottom line is we're certainly not, I think, getting our just desserts at the moment, but that can change very quickly. And those tight games, when you're drawing, all of a sudden when the things are going your way, those become wins. And we're capable, as I say, of getting a number of them together, and by doing that, that'll move us up where we want to be.